In today's video, I'm going to demonstrate how to work a cable cast on. To work a cable cast on, you're going to begin by making a slip knot and placing that slip knot onto your knitting needle. Then you're going to put the knitting needle into your left hand and knit the slip knot, but do not take it off of the left hand needle. So I've knit into the slip knot. Here's my new stitch, and my slip knot is still on the left hand needle. I'm now going to bring the left hand needle forward and slide the stitch from the right hand needle to the left hand needle. I now have 2 stitches on my left hand needle, and now is when I begin the cable cast on. So the cable cast on begins by inserting your right hand needle between the first and second stitches on the left hand needle, or underneath the first stitch is another way to look at this. You are then going to wrap the yarn around your right hand needle for a knit and bring that new stitch through to the front. So this stitch is coming between these 2 stitches. Do not take either of these stitches off. We're going to tilt the left hand needle forward and then come up the stitch that's on the right hand needle. So here we go again. You insert your needle between the top 2 stitches on the left hand needle, or just below the first stitch if that resonates more with you. Wrap the yarn around like you're knitting. Let me show you that again. Wrap the yarn like you're knitting and bring that new stitch through and keep it on the right hand needle until you swing your left hand needle forward and come up the stitch. Insert, wrap like a knit, bring the new stitch through, and then twist it on to the left hand needle. Wrap like a knit. So this is the cable cast on. And I'll show you with my continental hand as well. Underneath the first stitch, so between the first and second stitch, wrap your yarn for knit, bring the new stitch through, and twist it on. So my left hand needle comes forward and up the front of the stitch that's on the right hand needle. And then it goes onto the left. This is how you work the cable cast on, and as you can see, it makes a very pretty looking braided edge on the one side. It's not as flexible as other cast-ons, but as you can see, we're working it with just 1 strand of yarn. So this is a cast-on that is great if you have to cast on stitches at the beginning of a row, or if you don't want to use up too much tail as you're casting on. This one does not require a tail to be cast on. Now, occasionally patterns will ask you to use the cable cast on, at the beginning or end of a row, or in between 2 pieces to join 2 pieces, because again, you don't need a tail to work it, so it's pretty convenient to use. When that happens, you already have all these stitches on your needle, so as long as they're in your left hand, you insert your right hand needle under and work the cable cast on using those last 2 stitches on the left hand needle as your guide. And just take note, when you do cast on this way at the edge of a row, when you go and work your first cast on, what you're doing is you're pulling the first stitch in the fabric a little bit to the right. So while it looks like I've cast on 5 here, this stitch actually belonged with the main fabric, with the original fabric. So I've cast on 4, and this 5th stitch that you're seeing was pulled over from this fabric by the cast on. So if you're counting your cast on stitches, if I needed 5 stitches cast on, I'd actually need to put 1 more on right here. So this is 5 stitches. Here's this one that belongs with that fabric. So something to look out for as you are working this cast on in your projects. Happy knitting!